Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Kurt, aka the Vitruvian Gamer, and I'm here with, I don't know how to call it, an overview, unboxing, unpackaging, and first played review, a first impression of a game that is very hyped at this moment, very popular, a lot of talking about it because it's quite unique, and that's Keyforge by Fantasy Flight Games, and of course designed by Richard Garfield, the designer of big games, but especially Magic the Gathering, a very big, famous collectible card game that he designed a long time ago, and that I used to play when I was I think I started when I was 17 or something like that. I played for years, many years. I got tons of cards still that I never use, honestly. So he came up with a new design, a new idea together with Fantasy Flight Games, and the thing is, this game, in case you should not have heard it, is a unique game. That's how they call it. This is a symbol for it. What does this mean? Now you have a card game, right? And this is a two-player game. And in this two-player game, people will battle against each other using a deck of cards. Of course, not just normal cards, cards with pictures on them and with abilities and all those things. These cards, you will buy them in these small booster boxes. Don't know if they have a special name. It's an Archon deck, and it is 37 cards, and it's a 37 card unique Archon deck, which means if you buy this for around 10 euros, $10, in this box there will be a combination of cards that is unique in the whole complete world. So you are the only one that has this deck. Now, I'm going to bring you to the table, and I'm going to show you what's inside of the starter box that you can buy, if it's available, because they were sold out very fast, and also open one of these boxes and to show you what's inside of a box like this. So let's go to the table. So the box, the starter box, comes with two decks, and these decks, well, they come with 4 decks, and one of these, 2 of these decks are pre-made decks. So these are the only non-unique decks you will find. So a deck looks like this. You have your Archon, which is well, who you are. In this case, Miss Onyx Censorious. It has a card list, and it has a deck of cards, which is on the list, of course. And you have 2 of them pre-made. You probably only play or use this once to learn the rules. I'm not sure if they're balanced or not. We played it once. Not sure if it felt balanced, but anyway, you get 2 decks in there, and you get 2 random decks in there as well. I will open one of them here on screen pretty soon. What do you get as well? You get these keys. These are the keys that you are trying to forge, and each player will be having 3 of them lying face down. The first player to turn them around, to forge them, it will be the winner. And to do so, you need Ember. And Ember is this. Now, these small containers, they don't come in the box. Those are mine. But these are the tokens that come in the box. This is the Ember. If at the beginning of your turn, you have 6 of these, at the start of your turn, you pay 6, and you can forge a key by flipping the key to its other side, to its color side. And again, if you get 3 of these forged, you win. So you're trying to do that and trying to stop your opponent from creating them, of course. So you get some Ember in the box. What else do you get? Well, in the game there will be creatures, and those creatures can get damaged, and to show that, you have a bunch of damage tokens. 1, 3s, and 5s. You have also, and mine are sleeved because this is a course a unique game and you want to protect your cards, so it's one of the few games that I sleeve. And you also have some cards, some power cards, +1 power, that you can attach to a creature to show you that he has +1 power, and stun cards, which, well, you put on creatures when they are stunned. Simple like that. So that's also in the base game, or in the base box, the starter box. And then you have 2 of these cards. These are cards that will show chains, and I'm not going to go too far into chains, but the goal of these chains is to have an option to balance games. If a deck is more powerful than the other one, won more tournaments and stuff like that, you can start with some chains, and depending on how much chains you have, you will draw these cards at the end of your turn. Each time you want to draw cards, but you cannot because of the chain, this goes down 1 until you can go back to your normal hand size. Also, some cards are that powerful that when you use them, you get a chain as well, or multiple chains. So these 2 cards are in there as well, with these 2 tokens to indicate the chain. Alright, that's it. And well, that's really it. I'm sorry to say so. There is a quick start guide in the box, not the complete rules. They are, well, they say they have a living rulebook online, so if you want the real rulebook, you have to go online to their site, maybe also on Board Game Geek. And then you have the typical hateful Fantasy Flight insert, which doesn't even fit cards like that. So you have to put them like this, and you don't use this in the box. Later I use one of these, right? Okay, so before I explain the game, let me show you a deck, and you can skip this if you want. I'm going to open this in front of the camera. Why? Because I want to open these boxes. I think I've got more of these. I got carried away, but you don't have to buy this much. You can buy one of these and you can play with this. This is not, well, this should be in my final thoughts thingy. Yeah, I will keep it for later. So when you take a box, you have to open it, so it will be clear that a box has been opened already or not, right? And you don't know which deck is in here. There's no indication at all. So you open the box, and then you have your set of cards. Now, first you have, well, this cellophane that I clumsily will remove from these cards. So they're also packed in cellophane. There we go. And then we have, and I should probably cover this. I will scan this soon. I will explain that later as well. So I have an Archon, as I already showed you. So in this case, I have the Sir of Godstair. This is my deck. There is not a second deck in the entire world that has the same name. Also, there is not a single deck in this world that has the same image on the back. How crazy is that, right? So crazy. All right, this is the combination of houses. There are several houses in this game, and as you can see, I already have a deck with this combination of cards, and maybe I can show you other ones. No, the ones from the base games, they have a combination of 3 houses, as you can see here as well, different. So I've got these 3 houses in this case. I've got Logos, Mars, and Untamed. If I turn this around, I have the card deck list. And what does it show? Well, the names of the cards are in there. Also, if they're common, uncommon, rares, or, and wow, this is a special occasion for me because first of all, this is my first deck. I've opened 3 of them so far. This is my first deck that has Mars, which I'm very excited because I'm very curious to play with Mars. But also, look at this. This symbol means this is a Maverick, which means this is actually normally a card that is not from the Logos house, but from another house. But in this deck, there is one that is especially for Logos. Now, there are already decks online being sold, especially with these Mavericks and with special cards. There are some unique cards like Horsemen and stuff like that that you can collect, and those are already on eBay for big prizes. I'm not sure how that will evolve. Not really looking into that for myself, honestly, but you can see all these circles are common, the stars are rares, the Maverick here, and yeah, well, some rares and some diamonds as well, which I think are uncommon. I'm not sure, but I think it is. And well, let's see. So I've got a deck of cards. They also have the back with the name on it, with the combination on it. So again, no cheating possible here. And then you have the cards there as well. Now let me go a little bit deeper in the gameplay. Again, if you know it already, you can skip it if you want. But anyway, we have cards of the 3 houses that are in this deck. Now, the type of cards that we have, you have creatures. These creatures, that you will use these to either fight your opponent's creatures or to reap. And reap means you use this guy to get some of this precious ember. And I'm not going to go into detail of the rules too much. If you want to learn this game with a video, I really suggest you go to the Watch It Play channel and learn it there. Nobody can beat Rodney Smith in explaining a game. So, as you can see, a creature has a power, which is also his life points, and an armor, which is 0 in this case, but it can be boosted with other cards. For example, maybe not with this one, but you can have upgrades as well. Upgrades you can play on creatures so they get more powerful. Alright, if you play a card that has this ember symbol in the left top, you get an ember immediately. So some decks have a lot of these, and this one doesn't, as you can see, not that many cards. So some of the decks have a lot of those and they go really fast. And it's your opponent that has to stop you. So what else do we have? I'm going to check. You have action cards like this one, the Vigor action. And this one is a card that you play. You do the play action and you discard the card. Again, when I play this, I get an ember. All right, what else can I show you here? Some more actions. We have, and there we have the alien, my first aliens. I'm so happy with this, yeah, because I really did not have an alien yet. Let's see. All right, so the aliens here, some creatures again, and I'm going to check if I get more out there. This was what I was looking for. This thing here is an artifact. Now, normally creatures, you put them in your battle line. If new creatures get into play, you put them left or right of your current battle line, and the creatures on the outside, for example, these 2 creatures now are the flank creatures. You can never put a creature in between 2 other creatures. All right, so an artifact, you put them below your battle line. These are harder to destroy, and you can also use them. Most of them have an action that you can use. If you do an action of a card, also you have to exhaust it. At the end of your turn, they all come available again. And you can do what they want. Some of the artifacts have a passive ability that will trigger when something happens or give you some power. All right, and I think that's all different types of cards. This artifact is a location. The other one was a weapon, for example. And as you can see, very colorful artwork as well. Now I'm trying to check out this card. I just want to show you. It's cool that I can show you. This has this Maverick symbol here. So this means normally this is not a card for logos. I'm not sure which faction it normally is for, honestly. If you know, put it in the comments, please. All right, so what is very special about playing this game? So you will have a hand of cards at the beginning of your turn. And at the beginning of your turn, if you are able to forge key, you do so, but then you have to choose one of your 3 houses of your deck. And that turn, you are only allowed to play, discard, and or use cards from that house. So maybe I really want to play this card because it will help me in the future, but I have 3 of untamed creatures lying here, ready to reap or to attack, but I want this one, and maybe I have another one of logos in my deck that I really want to play. Well, I can, but I have to choose logos. I can play these cards, and when you play a creature, they come into play exhausted. When you play an artifact as well, and actions go to your discard pile. So I can play this, but I cannot use the other cards here because they are from a different house. So that is a very cool decision you have to make. So that's how the game plays. You take your turn until you're done taking your actions, and then you draw back up to 6 cards from your draw pile. If your draw pile is empty, you shuffle your discard pile, and well, you try to beat your opponent in getting these keys forged, because that's a very, very important thing. This is not about killing your opponent, this is about making these keys. But I will mention that probably in the end of the video. And I think that I talked mostly about everything. Not going too much into detail, I just want to give you an overview of this game. So I will bring you back to my face and talk a little bit about this game and about how I feel about this game. Okay, so this was Keyforge, an overview. So I didn't mention everything. I did not really explain the stun cards or the power cards or any other special things, because of course this game is deeper than it looks. The first time I saw this game, I thought, I'm not sure. Okay, cool. This is a game by Richard Garfield, and while my cat is playing with the tokens, by Richard Garfield, of course. As an ex-Magic player, I was excited about that. Then I saw the artwork, and I realized cards don't have a casting cost, because in Magic you have to pay with mana to be able to play cards. In this case, you just announce a house and you play how many cards of that house you want as you want from your hand, and they don't cost, even if they are strength 2, or if they are, let me see if I got a big one in this deck, strength 7. They are all free to play as long as you have chosen that house to play. So that's one thing. So I thought, is this Hearthstone made in the real card game, or what is this? I wasn't too excited about it. Then came the unique deck thing. So each deck is unique. Now, unique is one thing, random is another thing. These decks are partially random, but apparently they have figured out some kind of algorithm in their printer system that makes a deck still have this, well, this frame that it is built upon. And it has some random stuff. I've got decks, a deck that has some creatures that work very good with artifacts, but I only have 2 artifacts in the whole deck. So it's not all great, but there is still an algorithm that puts this frame inside of this game, which is pretty cool. So I was much more excited about it. Then I read the rules, and there were more rules than I expected, although it is very simple. It's not a difficult game to teach. And I was more excited about it already, because it told us, and it is true, this is not a deck building game. Now, I used to play Magic, but I'm older now. I work and I have a house to keep clean and food to prepare and all those things, so I don't have time and money anymore to buy booster packs of a collectible card game, hoping for the right cards, and then spending hours and hours of building a deck, trying to make a great deck. In this case, if you don't have a lot of money, you buy one of these, you play with it, and you master it. This is not a deck builder game, or deck building game, or whatever it has to be called. This is a deck mastery game. So, first time I play with this game, with this deck, I will probably suck big time. I have no idea what the combinations are, how cards synergize with each other, and what the best tactics, the best way to play this deck is. But the more that I use this deck to play against my opponents, the better I know this deck, and the better I will be able to play with this, and the more chance I have to, well, to win a game with this deck. And that, for me personally, and I understand that this might not be the case for everyone, but for me, this is awesome. Now, the game itself, yes, I played a couple of games now. I went to a release event, and I played once before that as well at a convention, and it has a lot of good things. I really like this. This scratches my Magic the Gathering itch, which is awesome. I've been waiting for that for years. Although it has a frame, each deck has a frame, there is also random stuff going on, and one deck will be better than the next deck. That's how it goes. I was playing a game Saturday with on the release event, and a guy next to me was playing another guy, and honestly I was happy I did not have to play against that guy because his deck was crazy powerful. Now, I've shown you the chain cards, and I'm still not sure what they will be doing with it. It's still not very clear how they will use these. Now, there is an app, and I forgot to take my phone with me, I think. Let me check if I get my phone here somewhere. Well, throw decks on the floor. Yes, I do. How professional. So, I'm going to show you. Oh, I've got a lot of stuff on my phone at this moment. There is a site or an app that you can download. It's the Keyforge app, and in this app you can log in and you can add your deck to your list. So you can scan, and I'm going to do that now. I'm going to scan the Sir of Godstair, and now it says, congratulations, you added the deck to your collection. And you collect some Ember Shards. I have no idea what that will do. Now, if I go to the deck page, I can see this deck. I can see even every card that's in it. I can see. This is pretty cool. And in the future, there will be a possibility to register your plays. So if you play a game, you can find the other player's deck, and you can enter who won. And then you can keep track of how much matches you played with a certain deck, how much matches you won. Now, this is not available yet. Fantasy Flight calls it the Age of Discovery, in which you play casual, and later there will be organized events and all that stuff. And then they are going to use this. So the app will tell you, hey, your deck has certain combinations which, because of the database we have, because of the information we have, proves to be quite powerful. You get some chains to start with. How it will work and if it will work, that's the question. That's something we'll have to find out in the future. But until that happens, and I'm not planning to play very seriously, I'll probably join some tournaments, but I prefer then tournaments where you buy a booster and you play that deck that you just gotten. So pretty balanced stuff, although you can have poor deck or a very good deck, or something else, a tournament where you have some balancing and some and which is casual. So I'm going to play this casual mostly. That's the idea anyway, and therefore that's great. That's, oh man, I'm looking forward to play this a lot. Elise, my wife, is not sold on it yet, just because she cannot win at this moment, because if you have played Magic in the past, you have an advantage of players who have never played this kind of games. That's just how the cookie crumbles. But I love this game. I really do. I hope I have enough options, enough opportunities to play this, and I'm looking forward to play this game quite a bit. So that was an overview. I showed you the game on the player mat, by the way. You can buy that if it's available, because there were not enough available at the release. You don't need the player mat. It helps you put everything on its place and to keep your cards safe and clean. We all do love these player mats, of course. They're not that very cheap as well, but I decided to buy it. So that was the player mat, by the way. That does not come with the base game, of course. Anyway, so if you are interested in this game, just get a booster and play someone who also has a booster, or say hi to a friend and say, hey, let's buy a booster each and let's play this game. You don't need all these tokens. Choose the tokens that you have at home. You don't need the power cards. Take some tokens from home. You just need 2 decks. That's all you need. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I do for now. And maybe in the future I will come back to this and we'll see how much I still like it. Thanks for watching this overview, unboxing and review, first impression of Keyforge. And I hope you liked it. I see you all next time in the future. Bye bye.